Hello guys and welcome back to a brand new video on my channel. In today's video I'm going to be making one that I've really wanted to make for a while. I've made a few transfer videos, a few squad planning videos in the past surrounding Barcelona and also Chelsea Football Club, but today I'm going to be looking at how Barcelona can have the perfect transfer window, and I just want to show everyone really in today's video how Barcelona can have a successful transfer window, how we can build an excellent side going into the 2020 to 2021 season. And well, this video is going to be realistic, guys. I'm not going to go and say, you know, buy Koulibaly, buy Neymar, buy Mbappe, etc, etc, etc. You know, pick off any player above 70 million off of the tip of your tongue. No, I'm going to explain very clearly the financial and sporting situation at Barcelona, and from there analyse how Barcelona can still actually have a perfectly able transfer window, sign some really good players, make it really successful with outgoings and incomings, and also at the same time build a packed out squad full of talent, full of depth, and of course full of ability. But before we go any further, it is important to start with the budget for Barcelona, and well, it is essentially €0 in terms of how much money Bartomeu can dip in and spend in this market. It is essentially zero. It's nothing basically, you know, maybe 5 million here and there, 10 million perhaps. But essentially, guys, anyone Barcelona want to bring in, the funds for that deal will have to be generated from player sales. There won't be any money that we bring in from within, which is really rare and quite unlikely for a side like Barcelona, and most of the big sides, you know, all of their money isn't just from player sales. You know, we know this, it isn't a perfect world, you know, teams bring in money from a lot of other places, and Barcelona are certainly one of those teams who usually go in with a big transfer budget of 100 to 200 million on top of player sales. But right now, this window, we're going to have basically nothing to work off. Same for Real Madrid. Any money Barcelona want this summer for transfers is going to have to be generated from player sales. And I just want to pinpoint in this video how we could still have a successful transfer window with this, because maybe people will be thinking, well, we are done then, we are absolutely done, but basically, guys, we're not. We definitely aren't. You know, we've certainly got players in the club who we can sell for a lot of money, a lot of players we don't use, a lot of players who I think we should definitely be selling, and we can actually generate a lot of funds, and from those funds we can make a really successful transfer window out of this. So let's get into the video. So let's start by looking at some of the players we could actually sell to generate those funds then. I want this to be a really interesting video for you guys, a good insight into what Barcelona could do. But before we get into those players, let's just say that, well, first of all, we can't just decide that the players we want to sell will go. It isn't that simple. We can't just put someone in the transfer market, someone offers what we want for them, and that's that. Also, some players want to stay at the football club. You know, there are a lot of players who will definitely be thinking, I want to stay at Barcelona, I don't want to leave, they block the move. Players like this could be Umtiti, Rakitic, you know, even look at Neto perhaps, players like that. They don't really want to leave Barcelona as a city and as a football club. And also, guys, even if, say, some clubs are interested in them, which, well, they may not be. We have a lot of players here who you'd be thinking, is anyone going to pay that much for them? Is anyone even interested? We don't really know. But say people are interested, then they're not always willing to pay the amount we want, meaning we actually don't generate that many funds. So it's not as simple as just saying, we want to sell all these players, there you go, bring in our 200 million. I understand that, I really do, and I don't want this video to be some unrealistic nonsense. Like I said at the beginning, I want to explain it very clearly as to just how much we could be bringing in this summer and who we could be spending that money on. But yeah, the financial situation at Barcelona is weak, and of course it's not ever easy to sell players from Barcelona. You know, they get attached. We ask for a decent amount of money, teams aren't willing to pay that, especially not really this summer, so that does make it quite difficult. But with that being said, I tried to give a realistic price for a lot of the players on this list, so let's get started. And I start with the goalkeeper position and Neto. I would sell Neto this summer. I don't really know why he was bought. I mean, I say I don't, I do. It was part of one of those dodgy financial situations that Barcelona find themselves in. The same with Arthur and Pjanic a couple of months back. We just do these things to balance the books, you know, that's how it works these days at Barca. But Neto, for me, I would sell him. I would get about 20 million euros out of him. I think that's a fair price. I think people would actually pay that, and for me that works for all parties. We get 20 million in, that starts the budget falling, and anywhere around that figure would be really good for Barcelona. We can just promote Iñaki Peña from the B team. For me, he's ready to be the number 2 goalkeeper, and even if he isn't, it's time to make him ready. He's got the potential in him, and I'm hoping he can progress with Adnal Tenas then in the B team instead. Then we've also got Semedo. I've put him on the list basically because, well, Barcelona have been looking to sell him for a while. I don't know if I'd sell Semedo, mainly because I don't actually think the right back is a very overpopulated position in the transfer market. There aren't really many you can bring in who are better than what you've already got. And Semedo is probably one of the top ones in Europe. There's still the debate of whether he fits Barcelona. He probably will be kept, but if he does go, for example, we could be bringing in about 40 million euros. He's definitely not one of the people on the list that I'd say sell, sell, sell. We can get money for him. But if we do, for example, we could get Serginho Dest from Ajax for half the price we sell Semedo. So that's another positive of selling players. There are players in the market who we can bring in for a lot less. A right back who I would sell though is Emerson. He doesn't play. I don't think he ever will play for Barcelona. It was a financial deal. We can buy him back from Betis for 6 million, and then I'm hoping sell him to AC Milan for about 25 to 30. That's the plan for Emerson. And already there, guys, say we sell Neto, say we sell Emerson, we get about 50 million euros, just like that. And that is a real positive, I feel, about this video. There are players who we can sell, and there are funds to be generated. Moving on to another right back here with Moussa Wagué, another one. He just isn't going to play for Barcelona again. Make some money out of him, and he can actually end up going, I think, for about 8 to 10 million euros. So again, more money there from Wagué. It just tops off on the top of the list. We can get some players, some really good players, for under 30 million this summer. So when you sell Wagué for a player like Wagué, who we're never going to use, for like 10 million, that can always add to the budget. Another one who's going to be sold is Todibo, whether we like that or not. Is not up for debate anymore. I don't really feel he's definitely going to be sold. I do worry with all that's gone on with him now that, say, he did come back to Barcelona, he wouldn't even really be that successful, just because, when you play with a player's mind, like when you toss them out on loan, when you show you don't have any faith in them, bringing them back, for me, it never ever works. It'll be the same with Coutinho. People have a dream that if Coutinho comes back, he'd be brilliant for us in midfield. I just can't see it. So for Todibo, I would unfortunately sell him now. I definitely wasn't in that situation a few months back, but with everything going on, I think we can get better players in than him, and he's actually worth about 30 million. And if you sell Neto, you sell Emerson, you sell Wagué, and you sell Todibo, already, guys, that covers the Lautaro Martinez deal. And people have been panicking, where are Barcelona going to get the finals from for Lautaro? Well, there you go, 4 players, we've got it. 4 players who we don't even use. Emerson hasn't even played for us. Neto's played, 3 games? Wagué's played 2. Todibo's played 5. This is a no-brainer, guys. There's money within the club here, guys, and it has to be sold on. And then we can bring in players who we really want for our future. Another one who I would certainly sell is Samuel Umtiti, a player who we all loved in the past, but for me has to go. 25 million, around that. I can't believe people are paying that for him. For me, he's probably, I don't want to say one of the worst centre-backs in Europe, that's really harsh, but when I watch him, I do wonder what on earth I am watching, because seeing him at centre-back, it's just worrying. It really is. He trembles on the ball. It's pretty unpleasant to watch, but I think Umtiti, just because of his name, he's a World Cup winner. I think we're still going to be able to get about 25 million, maybe 20 for him in the summer. Junior Firpo I've got on the list. I haven't put a price for him simply because the hope for Junior is to include him in the swap deal for Lautaro Martinez. I've heard that Inter are going to be accepting that. 70, 80 million maybe, plus Junior Firpo will bring Lautaro to Barca. And like I say, we've made 70 to 80 million just by looking through some of the players that we could have already sold in the goalkeeper and defence positions. Into the midfielders now, Ivan Rakitic for me, I would put on the transfer list. I don't know how much we're going to get from him. Maybe 5 to 15 million, anything within that range I think would be a bonus for Barcelona now, where he's got 1 year left on his contract or something. For me, he has to be sold in the summer. I think he'll try and hold out and just go for free at the end of his contract. Barca aren't going to renew his deal. We just got to hope that someone like Sevilla comes in, picks him up for a good price, and that can of course add to our budget. Rafinha's another one who's going to be sold, a player who I've always loved watching play, but he's definitely going to be moving on this summer. There isn't really a spot for him in the team anymore. He's getting a little bit old, but for me, whoever gets him has got an absolute treat of a player on their hands. Such a great player, a really good guy, and I'm hoping he can go on to have a good career. Again, around 15, 20 million for Rafinha for our budget. And then there's Coutinho, guys, the big sale really. Unfortunately, we're only really going to be able to sell Coutinho for 50 million. The most interested side is Arsenal. He wants to go back to the Premier League, but Arsenal really don't have a lot of funds this summer, and in the past summers as well, because, well, they just don't have them full stop. And unfortunately for us, Arsenal are not going to be able to pay 50 million for Coutinho, which is what we're looking for. And that's an issue, it really is, because we want to make funds out of him, but we're just not going to be able to. We might have to cut our losses and just say, if Arsenal can give us anything near 50, then we've probably going to have to let him go, because that could really help our budget. We could bring in a lot better players. On top of all these other sales, guys, we could have already made a lot of money through generated sales. So Coutinho, he could be a big fee. If we add Coutinho's big fee to some of the other players, we're going to be in the money here. And the final player who I'd definitely sell probably is Braithwaite. I really like his work ethic. I feel really sorry for him because he just got tossed into the club in February, you know. What a weird thing. For me, he has to go, and I'll explain later why, really, because when you look at our squad next season, there's just no room for Braithwaite. So Braithwaite, about 20 million to the Premier League. I've heard Everton and West Ham are interested. That could be really good. And then finally here, guys, I put Dembele on the list. Potential sale here. Same goes for Griezmann, I suppose. I probably would keep both of them, but they could be sold, for example, in a Neymar swap deal, which I just think is a little bit too hard to complete in the circumstances of the market that we're in these days. But hey, if we sell all these players on this, we'll have a lot of money. And, you know, tossing someone like Dembele or Griezmann into a swap deal for Neymar with a bit of money on top could definitely be a solution for Barcelona. But either way, guys, you know, considering we may not sell everyone, guys, I think we may not even sell the guys I've got on the list for the prices that I put them at. It's not going to be that simple, like I mentioned earlier. But we could be looking at about 200 to 250 million euros incoming if things go to plan. It sounds crazy, but it is the truth, guys. It really is. When you add it up, when you do the maths, we could be making that much money. However, like I say, it doesn't work like that. Not everyone's going to go for the price we want. We could be looking at maybe 150 million, which I still think is a really, really good amount of money. It is 150 million, guys. It's a lot of money to work with from players, like I say, we don't even care about really anymore. It sounds harsh, but a lot of these guys just don't play. Neto, Emerson, Wage, Todibo, Umtiti, Junior Firpo even to an extent. Rakitic won't be anywhere near the team next season. Rafinha hasn't played in about a year for us. Same with Coutinho. Braithwaite, again, going to be getting nowhere near the team. All of these guys, you know, they don't have a role in Barcelona, and they could be generating us near 200 million, and there's a lot of money to work with. 200 million, guys. 150 maybe a worst case scenario. Any less than that, if we're putting all these players on the shortlist, would be on the transfer list even, would be a little bit of a disappointment, but yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that because there are reasons to be positive. We can make a lot of money here, and here, guys, is how we can spend it. So bearing in mind, guys, we could have about 150 to 250 million, and honestly, the players I want to bring in, we don't really need any more than 150, which in my opinion, we can easily make from player sales. So let's get started here. Lautaro Martinez, again, Barcelona are making an absolute drama out of this deal. What you do is, I'll scroll up a little bit more to the players I want to sell. Todibo, 30 million. On top of that, Emerson, 25-30 million, that's near 60 million. For example, Rafinha can be sold as well. Umtiti, even Wage, Neto, all easy sales, guys, and that will easily make over 70 million. Then what we do is we offer Inter Milan 70 to 80 million plus Junior Firpo, and we have Lautaro Martinez for just getting rid of a few defenders who we never really use. Another one who we're looking to bring in, which is really, really positive, is Eric Garcia. For me, 20 million max for this guy. He's got 1 year left on his contract. I don't know a lot about his price, but for me, it won't be a lot of money. He would be a great pickup. We could even get him maybe for free in January or next summer, but I think we need him in this summer, and I've heard that his deal is actually quite close now because Man City is signing a lot of centre-backs. They know Garcia is going to be coming to Barca in the summer, back to his homeland, and we could get Garcia for really, really cheap. You know, I can't see this deal going over 20 million euros. You know, what an absolute steal. If you look up here, if we sell him Titi for 25, get Garcia for 20, you know, everyone's laughing here at Barcelona. Another one I've put on the list here is Grimaldo. We haven't actually been linked with him yet, but we'll need a left back if Junior Firpo goes, and he can be brought for really, really cheap. This deal won't be over 35 million. And again, if we just scroll up to some of the sales, we could easily make that, guys. You know, if we go through here, 70 million for Lautaro, 20 million for Eric Garcia, 35 million for Grimaldo. That's well under 150 million euros, and that's a worst case scenario, guys, the 150 out of player sales. You also look at Serginho Dest, who I mentioned earlier. Say we do sell Semedo for 40 million, we can get Serginho Dest in for half his price. Again, you know, it's a no-brainer for Barcelona. And you also look at the Neymar or a winger situation, or say you want a big centre-back, say you want Skriniar for 50 million. I think it's definitely doable. If we sell Coutinho, if we do a Dembele swap deal, a Griezmann swap deal, you know, we can bring in a player like Neymar. We'll have the funds left over just from selling these players who we don't even use and won't even be near the first team next season. So, like I say, lots of reasons for optimism here, guys. I love Neymar. I think he would be a great player to bring back. I just worry about it economically. I don't know if we have enough money for it. But like I mentioned, guys, if the sales go our way, which they probably won't know with Barcelona, then we probably won't be able to get him. But if they do, we can go for Neymar for sure. But I just want to be realistic in this video. Like I say from the start, I didn't want to be going mental and just saying we can sign whoever we want, because we can't. Barcelona aren't in a good situation financially. The positive thing is we have a lot of players here who, in my opinion, have to be sold, are never going to be used, and could bring in a lot of money. So guys, just look at that. We can make about 200 million nicely and easily there, and then we only really need to spend under 150 million to bring in what we need. Not just players who will do, actually players for what we need. Defenders, a striker. That is what we need at Barcelona. Lots of reasons for optimism, guys. That's why I wanted to make this video. And for me, it can be easily done. That's why I wanted to make it, guys. The management, to be fair, are moving in the right direction with signings. We've seen the links. Lautaro is a good bet. Eric Garcia is a good bet. Pau Torres at centre-back, who's a bit too expensive. But again, that's the right place to look. There's been links with Dest. Again, that's good. Neymar, that's sort of good. If we get linked to Grimaldo, perfect. These are a lot better links, guys. We just got to hope that we stay away from certain other players who are, cost a lot of money and definitely won't improve the team. And just to prove to you guys that by selling all these players and bringing in, just 3 or 4 others, we can actually still have a very good and competitive team next season. So here we go. Goalkeepers, Ter Stegen and Iñaki Peña. At right back, Sergi Roberto and either Semedo or Serginho Dest. In centre-back, Piqué, Longley, Eric Garcia and Araujo. At left-back, Jordi Alba and Grimaldo. In midfield, Busquets, De Jong and Pjanic, Riqui Puig, Vidal and Aleñá. Look at that for a midfield 6, guys. Absolutely perfect. Gives you everything. I love that midfield 6. Wingers, guys. We're going to have wingers next season. Listen to this. Trincao, Pedri, Ansu Fati and Dembélé. And up front, Lautaro Martinez, Messi, Suarez and Griezmann. Look at that, guys. Look at that. A perfect squad. Completely easily doable. And that's why I wanted to make the video, guys. I wanted to show you that at Barcelona, we are in a bad situation. Things do look quite down, but it can be turned around very good. I mean, very good, very easily, guys, very quickly. We need to sell. We definitely would. It's not just simple as click of the fingers, bring in who we want. We do need to sell, but like I said, we have a lot of deadwood we need to sell. We can promote youth. We can bring players back from loan, bring in some cheap deals like Eric Garcia, Dest and Grimaldo. Spend all your money on Lautaro that you've generated from sales, plus Junior Firpo, and then we've got a smart squad, a competitive squad. I'm looking at the young players, Trincao, Pedri, Ansu Fati, Dembélé, you've got Riqui Puig, you've got Arturo Vidal, who I'm hoping stays, you've got Aleñá coming back, Grimaldo in defence, guys, and Eric Garcia. Better, younger players coming in who can help Barcelona. So that's when I'm going to wrap up the video, guys. It's gone on a little bit longer than expected, but it's a video I'm really excited about that I wanted to make, guys. Let's not get drawn into the stupid deals this summer, Barcelona. Let's do it correctly. You're on the right lines, to be fair, to the board that we've also ripped into so much in the past. At least they're looking at the right signings for once. And anyway, that's when I'm going to wrap it up. Certainly a dream. Probably won't happen. I think a lot of the players we put on the list are probably going to either stay or won't go for that much. And the players we want to buy maybe won't come in. But it's a possibility for sure. It's not just a dream without any substance. I think it's something that could definitely happen. We can build a competitive squad out of this, and that's where I'm going to leave it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave all your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.